There we go. Let me start again. Good morning. This is December 2nd, 2021 at 10 o'clock. I'm going to call to order the Denton County Transportation Authority Board of Directors regular meeting. The first item will be the invocation that will be done by our board alternative from Denton, Mr. Pat Smith.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity today to gather together as communities across Denton County to work through how to better serve those that we care about so deeply in our respective communities, and to make an impact in people's lives, especially in the challenges that we face as the pandemic and the economy, and all these things weigh heavily on us. I pray that you give each of us wisdom and discernment, and that we would have clarity of thought, wisdom as we work through those issues that are before us today. Thank you for the leaders in this room. Thank you for the staff that has worked so diligently to prepare for today. And thank you again for the opportunities we have as Americans to meet like this and to govern well, to lead well, and to make a difference for your kingdom. In your son's name, amen.
Thank you. Next, we have introductions. First, we have a new alternate from Highland Village. I don't believe he's here today. It's Paul Stevens. But I also like to take this opportunity to thank the former alternate, Mayor Wilcox from the city of Highland Village. Is there anybody else that would like to say a word or two about?
Mr. Chair, I would. If y'all remember, Mike Levitt, who was our former city manager, was the alternate, and he had a plethora of history, and that's been very, very important. And then it just made sense when he retired to bring in Mayor Wilcox to be our alternate, again, to bring that history of DCTA that we've had in Highland Village. And so she will be the longest running mayor of the city of Highland Village. In May, she will retire from that position, but I want to thank her for everything she's done for DCTA, for helping us through these processes. And as we bring a new history to DCTA, I want to welcome Paul Stevens as my alternate. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome aboard, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you.
Another introduction. Raymond, do we
I'd like to introduce Paul Christina as our new deputy CEO. He's been here a very short time, just a few weeks, but he's already making a significant difference. He'll be presenting today on the progress with DART on the rail operating facility.
Great. Paul, thank you. Thank you for on board.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have public comments. These are opportunity. This an item provides an opportunity for citizens to address the DCTA Board of Directors on any agenda items or matters related to DCTA. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 minutes to address any item. Anyone wishing to speak shall be courteous and cordial. Any person who wishes to address the DCTA Board of Directors regarding any item may do so by completing a request to speak cards prior to the meeting, or by utilizing the raise hand function of the Zoom meeting at this time. Citizens that are not able to connect to the Zoom meeting must have emailed his or her public comments to kmorris-perkins@dca.net no later than 3 p.m. on Wednesday, December 1st, to ensure that the comments will be read. So we will go now to start with any in-person. Is there anybody in person that wishes to make a comment? I see people shaking their heads. Next, I'm going to see if there's any virtual people that want to make a comment. And I'm hearing one. Okay, Mr. Pat. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Joshua Hatton. I am a member of No Bus Cuts Denton, the organizing committee for the campaign. We have 20 members in our organizing committee who are members of 10 different labor unions. And our petition on change.org against the cuts to the Connect bus service that had been proposed now has 914 signatures. And I emailed that to board members yesterday. No Bus Cuts Denton urges the board of directors to do two things at today's meeting. These are related to regular agenda items 3 and 4. The one related to agenda item 3, regular agenda item 3, is to approve the recommendations that have been made by the DCTA staff for the long-term maintenance of the Connect bus routes in Denton and in Louisville. And then regular agenda item 4, we urge the board of directors to approve the budget revision to fund the maintenance of the Connect bus routes through the end of at least financial year 2022. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that has raised their hands to speak virtually? I'm seeing no. Finally, then we have written comments. Oh, we have one more. Okay, yes. Ava Greco. Okay. Okay, Mrs. Greco, you have 3 minutes. You can address the board. I think you need to unmute.
Good morning. I'm sorry about that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eva Greco. I live in Denton. And I am calling regarding this GO zone. And when I first pulled up DCTA's website, and I'm going to quote, "We're committed to improving mobility, air quality, economic development, and livability in the areas we serve." I've been in Denton for 5 years now. I'm from New Jersey. 4.5 years now, I have been speaking about this mass transportation. When you take private vans and use them where you can have maximum 6 individuals or passengers, as opposed to 75 or more passengers, I don't see how you can compare that. I've got documents here proposing what GO zone is going to do or how it's going to function. And yet in reality, it's not going like that. We were told numbers are given to us of, how many passengers there are. Numbers are not accurate. We're being compared to, as far as mass transportation is concerned, we're being compared to big cities. Denton is not a big city. But we are developing, and our mass transportation is not meeting the needs of our community. As far as GO zone is concerned, we were told you have to go to a stop to do an app on your phone to request GO zone. What's actually happening is GO zone is going door to door. There are numerous complaints. The drivers are they drive horrendous. My neighbor downstairs just yesterday had an accident with the GO zone vehicle. And the GO zone vehicle had the hazard lights on, pulled over to the right. My neighbor went to go around this vehicle, and the GO zone driver decided to make a left turn with the hazard lights on. So there have been numerous accidents, minor fender benders, mind you. Not all drivers are wearing masks. There is absolutely no social distancing. Drivers are very rude, obnoxious. We've had incidents, the jazz festival. And there was a council member who actually said that they were going to take the opportunity to use GoZone. That was a total failure. Numerous citizens, GoZone was not, they didn't have the vans available.
Ms. Greco, you've got your 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Is there anybody else that's wishing to speak? Okay. I don't see any more hands. I will now, we did receive one written comment. I will read it into the record. Hello, I would like to submit the below comments for readings during the public comment section of tomorrow's board meeting, as I will be unable to join via to provide my public comments live. Thank you. Tomorrow evening, the city of Denton will hold one of its most attended festivals of the year. This will likely strain available downtown parking and could be a great opportunity to introduce new riders to convenient, efficient mass transit. In years past, however, execution has been lacking. Sometimes an extra night A train was run, but with no announcement of the schedule changes. Some years, including marketing on the DCTA website and social media, and other years not. The transition to single car trains to match lower usual ridership crowded the trains, such as the A train. Conductors denied entry to passengers waiting at the station, causing passengers to wait 30 to 60 minutes for a ride. What could we do to improve? Run 2-car trains for this one Friday evening of the year, hire one additional crew for this one evening, stationed at DCTC to shuttle back and forth between DCTC and Met Park, between regularly scheduled trains to decrease headways to 15 minutes, install temporary signage, introduce new transit riders to how to pay for a fare if applicable, and clearly showing the schedule for the evening. Update the GTFS feed for these events so that passengers using map applications get an accurate view of any schedule augmentations. I'm sure DCTA staff has even more and better ideas. I apologize for not bringing this up months ago, as I recognize no formal board action can take place between today and tomorrow. Perhaps some operational improvements can be made, but if not, let's start the process not to make the 2022 festival one where Denton County residents enjoy the A train as part of their festival experience. While the Denton Holiday Lighting Festival is the most obvious benefit for temporary service improvements in Denton, there are others that would benefit as well. Arts and Jazz Fest and Arts and Autos in Denton, Western Days in Louisville, and perhaps others. Through a bit of planning, these events can be an opportunity to introduce new riders to the benefits of the A train while easing parking and congestion issues for attendees who choose not to use transit. So let's plan. Thank you. Regards, Edric Pruitt, a Denton resident of Denton, Texas. That's all the written comments I have. I believe staff will take that into advisement. We'll move now to the consent. The consent items are items that are typically not controversial and are usually taken as a package. The first one is consent approval of monthly financial statements for October 2021. And the second is consider approval of October 2021 regular meeting minutes. We have a move by Vice Chair and a second by Director McGuire. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll move into the regular agenda. The first item is consider approval of Resolution 2109, approving budget revisions 2022-02 for sales tax associated with Castle Hills annexation into the city of Louisville. The presenter is Marissa Perry, Chief Financial Officer. Marissa?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And if y'all would move to the next slide, please. As you know, back in September, the extension of GoZone service into Castle Hills was approved effective January. And so this budget revision is just to recognize the additional sales tax that is projected to come into DCTA with that annexation beginning in January of this fiscal year. It's a total of $575,000. And this projection was received by the city of Louisville so that we could ensure that our projection was in line with what the city was expecting on their end. So with that, I just wanted to include that, and otherwise I'm happy to answer any questions, and if not, we would ask for the board to approve resolution R21-09.
Thank you, Marissa. Any questions from the board?
I do have a quick question. Marissa,
Yes, sir.
and this is my ignorance of the comptroller's office, so bear with me. Do we get projections from the state for our cities?
We do not.
Okay, so how do we, as an entity, project sales revenue, sales tax revenue for the entity? Do we, because I know we do. I'm curious with the methodology.
Sure. So historically, we've seen over the last 9 years, we've seen about a 6 to 7% increase year over year in sales tax. We historically have taken a fairly conservative approach in terms of budgeting sales tax. And so we, Randy, please, or
Hold on.
thank you. We may need to close down the meeting.
We close with chains, our hearts in vain we jump, never asking why. We kiss, I
Haciendo caer, ¿no? Haciendo caer a la beba.
Spell
Chupetín.
alone.
A ver, chupetín.
No
A
one
ver.
to
Voltea bien,
say.
papi, si te da.
Don't you
Vale,
ever say I just walk
Papi,
away.
sí,
I will
Te quiero, papi.
always
Un saludo
want
fuerte desde aquí,
you.
papi. A ti,
I
chupetín.